Have you considered implementing the Kanban or Scrum methods into your team's workflow? It can be tough getting your team to work more efficiently, especially if you can't decide on a new method to implement. Perhaps you've researched and landed on some new methodologies and management strategies, and you just need to choose one. Two wildly popular options are Kanban and Scrum. Both of these methods help teams self-organize, collaborate, and speed up product deliveries. They are, however, quite different. I'm Raid, and in today's video, we'll discuss Kanban and Scrum, their methodologies, and how you can pick the best option for your team. Let's go. Kanban and Scrum are two methods that fall under the umbrella of the Agile methodology. If you're looking at a new project management software, it likely has the Agile framework at its core. Agile focuses on iterative processes. This means workflows that are repetitive or cyclical in nature. These iterative processes speed up development or production, improve workflows, reduce stress, and achieve higher quality work with greater predictability. Agile has influenced industries such as manufacturing, marketing, and sales via workflow management software. It helps teams overcome issues by encouraging collaboration, creating processes to deal with uncertainty or chance, and forming new metrics for new and intangible success indicators. Let's kick things off with Kanban. Kanban is a Japanese word that means signboard, and this workflow methodology came to be at Toyota in the 1950s. Kanban completely transformed the organization, and software developers took note. They adopted it for their own needs and have since infused it into other industries. The basis of the Kanban methodology is to improve systems and processes over time. With its long game approach, companies can implement it without interrupting ongoing workflows, hierarchies, or other structures. Then, as team members work within this new framework, it gradually reveals inefficiencies and other issues so the team can easily address and streamline them. When you think of Kanban, you probably think of its defining feature, the Kanban board. This board makes visualizing workflows simply by boiling multiple stages down into columns. Then, each column is populated with cards representing each task, showing where they are in the workflow. The Kanban method follows 4 principles, the first of which is visualizing the workflow. On your Kanban board, you'll divide work into 3 or more columns, representing each stage of production. These typically look like to do, in progress, and done. But you can customize these stages to specifically fit your business's or project's needs. You then place a card with a specific task written on it. Each card includes the task's assignee and other relevant info. Then, as the task moves through your workflow, so does the card. The next principle is limiting work in progress. Your teams will assign a limit to the number of items permitted in each column or stage of their workflow. This way, your teams aren't as overwhelmed and they can have a clear idea of when it's time to push items through the workflow or pull more items in from the backlog. The third principle is focusing on the process. Having a visual representation of assigned tasks and how they're moving through the workflow helps teams identify bottlenecks. Then they can work together to improve their workflows. The last Kanban principle is aiming for continuous improvement. The team needs to respond quickly to work in progress limits so new items are always entering the workflow. This keeps the team in perpetual flow, speeding up production and highlighting issues and stumbling blocks along the way. Now that we've discussed Kanban, let's take a closer look at Scrum. Scrum is another framework in the Agile family. The goal of Scrum is to build a functional deliverable within a certain time frame or sprint that adds value for stakeholders, whether that's a revenue-generating product or an update that improves user experience. The Scrum framework is all about breaking down large projects into shorter, time-limited sprints. These sprints are typically 2 weeks in length. Your teams will meet daily in short gatherings called daily scrums, and in these quick meetings, they discuss progress and potential pivots. The Scrum method follows 6 principles. The first is iterative development. Scrum operates as a perpetual building and learning cycle. New projects are, in some way, always improving upon the ones that came before. Improvement can be based on customer feedback or team member experiments and observations. The next Scrum principle is self-organization. Each team member must own their part of the project. They must focus on areas they are most skilled in or passionate about. In doing so, they'll offer the best work possible while taking ownership of those specific tasks. When it comes to productivity, time is always of the essence. However, with Scrum, this is even more important than usual. Thanks to its sprint format, in order to reach max efficiency, your team will time box everything. This means they set a fixed amount of time for each activity. This includes daily meetings, planning meetings, review meetings, and the actual workflow sprints themselves. Another Scrum principle is empirical process control, which is a fancy way of saying being open to observation. In Scrum, decisions are based on observations and insight. Each team member must work transparently and be open to assessment. In order to do their best work, your teams must be prepared to adapt to change. You can't expect your team to boost their efficiency without collaboration. And that's why collaboration is the 5th Scrum principle. Teams follow a shared value creation model, so working closely with others is crucial when aiming for success. The last Scrum principle is value-based prioritization. With Scrum, reprioritization is the name of the game. Priorities often change, sometimes after each meeting. So your team has to be flexible and able to quickly adjust. Not only does your reprioritization reveal any opportunity to create more value, but it ensures teams deliver their best work at the end of each sprint. Still not sure which method to go with? Well, when in doubt, Scrum Ban. Scrum Ban is a hybrid method of both Scrum and Kanban. In fact, many workflow software platforms use it without explicitly acknowledging it. Scrum Ban blends both methods' best attributes. It takes Kanban's emphasis on visualization and blends it with Scrum's structure to boost adaptability. With Scrum Ban, your teams will be completing projects in short sprints and display status on a Kanban board to enhance communication. At the end of the day, the choice between Kanban, Scrum, or Scrum Ban boils down to your workflow needs. If you want to develop new products, Scrum is your guy. If you want to handle repetitive and recurring projects like pros, then Kanban is the way to go. Scrum Ban allows teams to adopt the best of both practices and use them interchangeably as they tackle different projects. Whether or not you picked a side in your Kanban versus Scrum decision, you can explore Jotform approvals as a project management solution. This platform is not only intuitive, but it makes managing tasks very easy. You can assign work to specific team members, be automatically notified about task completion, and set up conditional logic rules to build robust workflows based on forms. Then, when you've made your choice, you can easily integrate Jotform forms directly with Kanban and Scrum-friendly workflow apps like Trello and Asana. So, if you're ready to take your team's productivity to the next level, then it's time you implement Kanban or Scrum or a hybrid of the two. Let's review. The Kanban method is all about acing those repetitive projects through visualization. The Kanban principles include visualizing workflow, limiting your work in progress, focusing on the process and aiming for continuous improvement. Scrum, on the other hand, is all about structure, timing, and adaptability. Scrum's principles include iterative development, self-organization, time-boxed work, empirical process control, collaboration, and value-based prioritizations. If you can't choose between the two, go with Scrumban. With Scrumban, you complete projects in short sprints while utilizing the Kanban board to enhance communication. I'm Raid with Jotform, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to all of our awesome videos, and I'll see you in the next one.